As we breathe in, establishing our posture, and as we exhale, relaxing into stillness. As we inhale, creating vigilance, and exhaling right down to the ground. Inhaling, awakening the love in our heart. And exhaling, sending that love to every living being without exception. And thinking, may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. I make a determination to help us to have these. And seek the blessings of the wise ones in order to be able to do so. And before we engage in our prayers today, I would like to do a little analytical meditation. So first, simply settling the mind in this present moment. What is appearing now? In this mind. If we see a thought arise, we might follow it backwards. Where did that thought come from? Mind begets mind. Thoughts come from previous mind moments. We have memory. We can see that mind didn't just begin with this thought that arose just now, but we had a thought before. And before that. Allow your awareness to go back to the beginning of this day. We know that we had many thoughts during this day. And what about yesterday? It's possible to go back to last week. And we can take our awareness back through our life. We can remember events in our life, particularly those major events. When we got a new job, or left one, our life changed. And before that, it's possible to go back and recall when we were in school, friends, we had in school. We can think about walking in the halls of our high school. Various activities we engaged in during those years. And we had a strong identity. I was this or I was that. Allow your awareness, if you will, to go back to the very first thoughts of this life. Your first memories when you were a wee one. And before that, we were in our mother's womb. And before that, we were in the bardo, the in-between state, between this life and our previous life. We might use our imagination to go back into that previous life, the end of that life. Who was I in that life? I had a body, a different body. I had a different life, a different family, a different job, a different name. Perhaps a different gender, a different race. Different parents and children, different pets. And I saw them all as mine. My body, my family, my job, my happiness, my suffering, belonging to this real person. And I can go back in that life. I had a different childhood. Different friends, different schooling, and going back into the womb of that life's mother. And before that, the in-between state. And before that, a different life. Completely different life. What could that life have been like 100 years ago? and before that, and before that. Life before life before life. Hundreds of lives, thousands of lives, millions of lives, billions, trillions, infinite lives. I've been every race and every gender. I've been born in every realm. I've been a king and a queen and a pauper. And in each life, I identified with my body, my house, my parents, my children, my friends. And yet this life is like a flash of lightning in the sky. Everything is changing moment by moment by moment. And now we find ourselves with a precious human life, an opportunity to use this life to develop our love, our compassion, and our wisdom to understand how it is that reality truly exists and what it is that we should adopt and what it is that we should abandon in order to create the kind of life that we wish, in order to fully realize our potential, to wake up, to fully wake up. This is amazing what we have. And we don't know how long we will have it. Buddha stressed the importance of mindfulness, of being aware, what to cultivate, to practice the 3 higher trainings, living an ethical life, developing our concentration and mindfulness, and developing our wisdom, realizing that nothing has any inherent existence, but arises as a dependent origination, a dependent arising by causes and conditions. What it is that we planted is what we will reap. This is the benefit of having a mindful mind, being aware, cultivating awareness. And we can see why we consider that our thoughts become words. Our words become actions. Our actions become habits. Our habits become our character. And our character becomes our destiny. Wow. That's what Goethe said. And at the turn of the century, early 1900s, William James said, that to which we attend in the moment becomes our reality. So by growing our mindfulness, we become aware. Being aware, we can choose. We can use the wisdom of discernment to choose to cultivate a beautiful life. So let's make that determination. Let's let that be our goal, to develop the kind of mind that will, at the very minimal, have a positive rebirth to be able to continue on this path to enlightenment. But better still, to step off the wheel altogether. And the best is to bring everyone else along, to become a fully enlightened Buddha, so that we have the power to do that. So with this kind of strong, loving intention in our heart, let's recite our prayers together. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha by my virtuous actions of giving and so on. May I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the mind of enlightenment, to seeing emptiness directly, and to the Arya beings who have. May I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment, with confidence in the knowledge that the nature of my own mind is wisdom, its expression is clarity, and its compassion is all-pervasive. May I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. May all beings abide in equanimity, free of attachment and aversion. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings find good rebirths and the bliss of liberation. I will help us to have these. Please, Guru Buddha, bless me to be able to do this. Now we imagine our Lama as Shakyamuni Buddha wishes to help us, has come here before us, and we invite them to come to the crown of our head and rain down all the realizations of the entire path to enlightenment. O magnificent and precious root Guru, please abide on the lotus and moon seat above my head. Guide me with your great kindness and grant me realizations of your holy body, speech, and mind. And now allow this beautiful rain coming from the heart of Shakyamuni Buddha, blissful nectar and light rays showering down and filling us with these realizations on the path to enlightenment. May I be inspired by Guru devotion, uplifted by the preciousness of this human life, shed the fetters of attachment and aversion through a knowledge of impermanence, be protected by refuge, guided by a knowledge of actions and their results, aim for liberation through renunciation. May I be motivated by bodhicitta, opened by giving, disciplined by ethical behavior, strengthened by patience, enthused by joyous effort, stabilized by concentration, and freed by wisdom. And we invite our Lama, Lama Shakyamuni, to come into our heart. Oh, magnificent and precious Root Guru, please abide on the lotus and moon seat at my heart. Guide me with your great kindness and stay with me always until I attain enlightenment. So now we allow Shakyamuni Buddha to melt into a small sphere of light and descend down, coming to rest at our heart center. Dissolving into us, blessing body, speech, and mind. And dropping into that small sphere of light with our awareness. That light whose nature is love. As we inhale, allow that light to become energized. And as we exhale, allow it to begin to expand. The enlightened love of the universe filling our body. And we know we are loved. How wonderful. We allow that love to continue to expand as we inhale and exhale. It begins to pass through all of our pores. This blissful light, radiating in all directions. Above us and below us, in front and behind, to the right and left, all directions. Love is pouring out. With every in-breath, it's energized. And with every out-breath, it expands. It touches those that are close to us. And as we give them love on the out-breath, on the in-breath, we take away their sorrows. And this serves to simply energize the love. Anyone in your life who is experiencing a heartache, fill them up with genuine love. removing sickness, removing depression, expanding our circle to include those we have yet to meet. Wherever your mind's eye takes you. Take away the problems of the world. Dispel the misery. Let it serve to grow your love. Bring those into your awareness with whom you have difficulty. Remembering life before life before life, we have had a different relationship with them. Know how it is that they long for happiness and freedom from suffering as well. But they are blinded by ignorance. Fill them with loving energy. Let it transform them. And then allow this loving awareness to continue to expand out into the universe. To the multiplicity of universes. And then allow it to begin to contract back. Bringing it right back into this room, into this body. Into the center of the heart. And allow all conceptualization to completely dissolve. Leaving just pure luminous awareness, moment by moment. viewing the mind as having no thought other than repetition. Let appearances appear as nothing but the play of mind, like waves upon the shore. They rise up and die down. If at any time you feel the need for an anchor, turn to your breath if you like. It's always there. Sitting in non-conceptual awareness, we might ask, who is sitting? Is there a holder of the awareness? Something other than awareness? When we look for an I, it cannot be found. We're empty of an I existing as a permanent, independent heartless entity. Empty of that. There's no I in there. Just awareness. Awareness of awareness. Awareness of the body breathing. Awareness of subtle impermanence. Change. A movement and a stillness in harmony. Deep peace. Nothing to grasp. Nothing to fix. And yet everything appears. And it all works. So please begin to come back more awake and aware. I thought perhaps we might drop into a little room with some friends, meeting new people each week, and discuss what are the implications for you in this life when you consider life before life before life. What are the, oh, you did not, or, yeah.
No, I didn't. I was just brushing my eye.
Yes, yes. Well, in your group, as you sat there and discussed with one another, what did you discover were the implications of having multiple previous lives? Did you have any?
You know, I think one thing that Jean mentioned was how thinking about that, the significance of points in this life seem less and less when you think of the whole. How brief this moment is, this life.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so. Very much so. Anybody else have any other insights?
It's Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
For me, meditating and letting my mind go into that, I'm often aware of the fact that, and I was saying this in my group, about the things I'm attracted to and the things that I have aversion to. And sometimes the feelings become so strong on either one of those sides. I kind of have this realization, this cannot be coming from this lifetime. I don't know anything about this. I'm just having this thing. And so just doing that breathing and going, well, that's interesting. That's coming up in your mind. And it helps for me to let go of that attachment and aversion thing. Because it may have nothing to do with this lifetime. It may have nothing to do with nothing except something that's going on in my own karmic wheel. But just to let go, just to unloosen and say, well, that's an interesting thought. And realize that it may not be coming from this lifetime. There are things that I know and things that I can do that are so easy. And people go, how do you do that? There are things that I can't bear. And I'm not real sure why. So I have to assume that there's something that's coming from a past life. And it's my work in order to, to realize emptiness, to become enlightened. It's my work to unloose that. And that's why I think for me, the value is in looking at previous lives and seeing how they mirror what's going on in my life now.
Yes, yes. I remember early on in my studies, Sogyal Rinpoche was giving a teaching in Santa Cruz, and he read a poem that he had written, and he referred to this life as a flash of lightning in the sky. And I was 31, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, my immediate reaction was, oh, that's a bit of an exaggeration, isn't it? Now I look back, 50 years later, 45 years later, and I say, yeah, it is like a flash of lightning. And this regression, going back and thinking about previous life, this strong identification with who I think I am is softened to think. I think as Ruth mentioned that Jean said, our idea of our relationships with people in this life, feeling the need so strongly, identifying with this or that, it softens, as Victoria said, my attachment or my aversion. It softens if I realize that I've had all these previous experiences with this very same person or place or thing, and I'm reacting to it now in the same way that I reacted to it before. I've grown that. I've grown this aversion. We talk about how that the 12 links of dependent origination, why it is that we react in the way that we do. It doesn't come from nothing. It comes from the way we have thought and acted before. So if the way we are thinking and behaving is producing suffering for us or those around us, then through the power of mindfulness, we can say, yes, as they say in thought transformation, to face it and avert it right now. So then you weaken it. Every time you don't respond to criticism with criticism, you weaken the ability to hear that criticism in the future. You weaken hearing it, you weaken doing it. It's like even in neuroscience, if you say something, you create a neural pathway. And if you say it again, it deepens that pathway. It's the same way with karma. Frequency causes karma to grow. So through the power of mindfulness, through the power of being present, we have an opportunity to recognize that, to catch that when it comes, and to do the opposite if it is creating harm, or to rejoice in it and augment it if it is creating happiness for ourselves or for others. And that's the beauty of being able to be presently aware. Present moment awareness allows us to say, no, I don't want to say that snippy thing. So we begin to conjure up more and more and more love, which brings more and more and more happiness and creates a more and more and more beautiful life. So I welcome you to continue to grow your mindfulness every day, sit a little bit, and really try to see, being aware as we sit, what's happening in my body and my mind. When you delve deep into your meditation practice, it's not a matter of becoming numb. It's becoming vigilantly aware, really aware, super aware, in a completely relaxed state. It's a beautiful place to be. So we work on that, coming back each time, lovingly and kindly, like training our puppy mind, with treats. Come back. I have treats. So let's dedicate all of these beautiful energies that we have created and send it out. I like to think about sending it out right now to all over the world to heal it, to heal the body and mind, okay? Body and mind of all beings. By merit of this virtue, may I become Buddha and lead all beings, everyone, into that enlightened state. May the precious Bodhi mind not yet born arise and grow, and may that born not decline, but increase more and more. And Master Shantideva's prayer. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, find an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merit. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms, the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, there too may I remain to dispel the misery of the world. And please also then think of those in your life and dedicate this positive energy to their welfare and to the long lives of all of our spiritual masters.